$600 in a day trade today, only using one contract, live on YouTube and live on Zoom for the community as well. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another trade breakdown. So apologies, it's been a minute, guys. I've been super busy working on some other projects, working on the psychology masterclass for the community, as well as hosting the trading retreat, which was an absolute success. So thank you to all of you guys who did come on the trading retreat. It was amazing. Below in this video, guys, I will leave a form where you guys can register your interest for the next trading retreat, which will likely be towards the end of the year. On the retreat, we had some amazing trades, as well as one of the guys got funded and two of the guys also got payouts as well. And Topstep were kind enough to give everyone free combines, which was amazing. So thank you to the guys who did come. Plenty of footage coming for that. Now, for today's trade, I want to break down with you guys how we were able to take a nice 50 tick trade here on gold with literally zero drawdown using pure price action. So let's jump on the charts and I'll show you guys the trade. So this is the trade here, guys. Now, before we do anything, just for transparency purposes, I'll show you guys the position. So you guys can see here, so we got long at 45.4 and we got out at 40.3. So as you guys can see, we got long at 45.4 and we exited at 40.3, and we took $500 just using one contract. Now, I typically trade two contracts on this 150k count. However, with the price action that we had seen today, I wanted to reduce my risk but still give my trade a chance. Now, the confluences for our trade today, guys, was all of my trades are based on the higher time frame for my direction, and then the lower time frame is purely for entry and understanding liquidity grabs. So as you guys can see here on gold, and we spoke about this live on stream on YouTube, unfortunately it was just before we jumped off the Topstep stream. However, we did stay on Zoom inside the Traders Club to take this position live with the guys. Saw my screen, saw my stops, and saw my exits as well. Now, for you guys who were on YouTube, hopefully you guys executed off these levels because they played very well. Now, the reasons for this trade is you can kind of see here on gold, guys, you had this very nice resistance where a lot of people would have been shorting here, sitting their stops just above this high and right at 33.50. And this is where we were saying on stream, I was actually trying to get long up into that 33.50 level. However, I couldn't quite find an entry. You know, you got a lot of volume, no real good risk to reward to want to take it from here. So I was like, that's fine. As much as I would love to have got the longs up, there wasn't an opportunity for me to do so, therefore no mistrade, therefore no reason to get emotional or pissed off. You know, that's just trading. Sometimes you might call a direction well, however, catching an entry can sometimes just be difficult. However, once we did come up and tag these highs as a really nice liquidity grab at a breakout here, that's when we were now, okay, cool, finally it's time to get short. And this was the downside liquidity levels that we also gave on YouTube as well. And I was pretty much saying to everyone, once we grab the highs and break out, where's the next target? Well, the next target is the next liquidity level, which is these lows here and these lows here. Now, why was this a liquidity level? Because we're basically anticipating anyone who would be, you know, maybe FOMOing into some buys would typically be long in here, sitting their stops down just below, looking for this huge play up. But for me, there's no buys on the cards because you have already grabbed my upside liquidity. Therefore, my targets have been met. So at that point, I was actually trying to get short from here. However, there was no top wick. So my reasons for entering here, not only did you break below this level, but what's very important here, guys, is this is our liquidity continuation strat that we teach inside the Traders Club, where you come up and you liquidate previous highs and then start to break out from there. So I was considering the flip. However, I was like, with this higher time frame breaking out, which you guys can see here on the 15 minute, this was a beautiful liquidity grab at a breakout. I was happy to take the retest entry. So we got short here on gold as this candle started to reject after liquidating these highs, anticipating that we're going to come down into here and here. Now, we did mess around for a little bit, and I was aggressive with the management. As soon as this 5 minute grabbed the lows and held support, I was like, you know, this range is pretty tough. Let's take risk off the table. Not worth securing any profits, but it's absolutely worth taking risk off the table. And then our downside targets was actually here and here. Now, I was looking to hold this down into here, and this is why it comes back to being very neutral and very reactive. I'm reacting to the price action. I'm reacting to what the markets have done so far today. So therefore, I'm going to react to potentially taking profit early due to the ranges not quite giving me good volume. So as you started to squeeze these lows and reject, that's where I decided to take my profit on stream with the guys, and everyone was able to absolutely bank off this trade, where even just using one contract, you know, just locking in $500 for the day in a trade that lasted 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, $500 in 20 minutes, that's amazing. But what's also important is, like I said last time, it's not just a 15-minute $500 trade. It's an actual hour and a half of waiting for that position to set up to then execute at the right time. And I know some of you guys watch me on stream and think, like, is he going to take a trade? Why is he not taking a trade? I'm very patient, but not too patient. I execute when the time is right. Once the market show me volume, show me direction, show me liquidity grab, and I have clear targets, I'm taking my trade. And that is all I need to see. Liquidity grab for entry, clear targets and volume, and I'm executing my position. So amazing trade on stream today, guys. If you do want to go back and watch the live stream, this trade was called on the 25th of June on the Topstep YouTube channel. You guys can go back and watch it. Hopefully you enjoy the trade recap. And I go live here on YouTube every single day at 6 a.m. pre-London here on my channel, and then 7:30 for the London Open over on the Topstep YouTube channel. If you guys do have any questions about this trade breakdown, feel free to leave it below. And I'll see you guys hopefully on the next stream, or if not, I'll love to see you guys inside the Traders Club. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.